2 more villages to go, but technically it's 1 more because the other village is very small. I'm curious to know if you're curious to know what's next for Victors with Victor. And this is the energy that we're carrying through 2024. I'm really excited on Victors with Victor and the family. I never expected it. What I really want to dig into more is the history of the Nubians from Nubian old men. So Raila is the second Prime Minister of Kenya. Was it the first actually Prime Minister of Kenya, who is now the opposition, now vying to be the chairman of the African Union. It's a beautiful morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome again to another episode of Victors with Victor. I hope you guys are enjoying this episode and the series of the Kibera villages that I've been bringing you. Guess what? 2 more villages to go, but technically it's 1 more because the other village is very small. So we're going to cover the both of them today and then we should be done. I'm curious to know if you're curious to know what's next for Victors with Victor. If you're new here, please remember to subscribe. If you're a continued supporter and Victors with Victor's fam, we celebrate and appreciate you. Oh my God, the love is amazing. I'm loving it. And so I'm looking forward for the next adventure as we do these 2 final villages today. One thing that I've sort of come to learn is a place that we call home. There are so many that have been oppressed for us to call this place home, and these are the Nubians. So in honor and respect for the Nubians and their community, ladies and gentlemen, today we get deep into the Nubian community and really get to understand in this village what's been up and what's up. Also, I want to share my love to everyone who's supporting. I'm overwhelmed with support, you know. I really celebrate and appreciate you, and as we step out, this is going to be the final episode for the villages in Kibera, and then we get into something else. So keep it locked. I hope you're enjoying. Drop a comment on the comment section, like, subscribe, share this video widely. A couple of people have been sharing videos. I'm also really happy and proud that I wake up to emails of congratulations, best of wishes, love, appreciation, encouragement, and everything. This is the energy that we need, and this is the energy that we're carrying through 2024. I'm really excited on Victors with Victor and the family. Honestly, I never expected it. I never expected this love. So as we step out, wish us all the best, and I hope you'll enjoy the best of the stories. So one of the things that Victors with Victor is about, doing all these villages, I can't remember if we articulated any story, but I think we went to people and asked them, hey, do you know about this? Except the story that we did yesterday in Ayani village. It was a coincidence at Ayani. When we were doing Ayani, I met the legendary, that second generation rapper in Kibera. And it's amazing that he had the history. So we're stepping out. Wish us luck. We hope to get the right person to give us the history of Makina and Raila village. Are you ready? Let's go! Victors with Victor. We are here in Makina village, and on the camera we have Share with John. So remember to subscribe to his YouTube channel on description as well. So Makina village, this is a very exciting village for me. And I'm very happy to be doing this story. It's a very busy village. It has a very coastal vibe, and for me, I think we are headed to the Ramadan week, and it's gonna. Why I'm saying it has a very coastal vibe? You see this is a tuk-tuk. You find it mostly in the coast, and niaje. Long story short, ndio tuendelee na story. Sasa sijabeba dondo na hii story. Unaitwa? George Ndungu. Sawa sawa George. Nice to meet you. So you see they're even selling chicken here. It's a very busy village, and I really like it. The vibration inside is coastal, but also I think it's as well a very colorful village. John, you're gonna show them these coastal dresses. We call them dera here. You'll see a lot of them selling a lot of things. There are Somalis here as well. You can show them that Somali shop as well. But also this is the village that other than the central business district, this is the village that has a lot of mini markets. We have Malibora, we have this supermarket here that is known to be serving the village of Kibera. There are a lot of street vendors as well. But two very iconic things about Makina village is this is where we have the only low-code, Kibera low-code, that we are walking towards. It's actually by us here. So this is where a lot of cases are brought, and judgment is done on so many people. A lot of people actually around Nairobi area come to the Kibera judiciary court of the Kibera. It's actually called the Kibera High Court. But we actually, it's amazing because I don't know if it's against the law, but we actually buy the Kibera local. You see the tuk-tuk. This is what I'm telling you. This place has a coastal vibration. I'm not gonna stop here, but we're gonna show you like a really quick sneak peek of the Kibera local. So this is the hub of the Nubians. One thing about the Nubians that I realized, they're very reserved. And so they don't just easily tell you stories. There's a protocol to it. Like we were very lucky to get that mama who told us the story about Kambi Muru. You can show them so that they can see the coastal vibe. Even the shops look very coastal. They're very coastal. We are still around the low-court area. And then the second thing, so if you imagine that, a whole low-court judiciary court would be actually here in Kibera, Makina, the hub of the Nubians. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, here we have so many madrasas, like places where young Muslims go to study and to really get into the Quran and understand the Quran. But also, one of the biggest mosques in Kibera. We had the oldest mosque in the previous story that we did, but now we have, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but now we have the biggest mosque in Kibera here in Makina. It's the largest mosque that is located here in Makina. Makina also hosts a number of educational institutions, schools. Just as we've been watching, you've seen the number of businesses that are around here, Kibera. Somebody had mentioned that we can do stories about the different people that are living here. So this place actually, business-wise, it hosts so many people. There's the Somali, part of the Somali lives here, the Luo, the Kalenjin, the Luya. So many tribes are here. So it's a very friendly place for other people. We're not gonna get there, but let's keep going. Also, the road network around here is very perfect. It's really good for people, for movement, and I think that's why it's one of the places that really thrives in business. And there are a lot of wholesale shops. And the one thing that is really interesting here for me, there is still a preservation of the old Nubian houses, the mud houses, the simple structures, and I hope we'll get a chance to be able to go through that and see something like that. But now it is also the boundary, the landmark to the end of Kibera. And on the other side of Kibera, if you cross from this side to the other side, you will see our second president's home, which is just by Cabernet Road, which makes it really interesting for me. So as we walk, you see even the women in the hijab, in the dera, and everything. So behind me, you see the biggest mosque in Kibera. This is like very iconic to Kibera and to the Kibera people as well. Today is Tuesday, but on Friday, it's flooded with Muslims that are ready to go to the mosque to pray. So on the other end, we have on the other end, I'll show you guys. I hope I get a chance to show you. But we have Raila village, which was supposed to be the 14th village, but we'll just get a hint of what Raila village looks like. So we're actually getting to the end of Makina village, and I'll go show you guys from the other end as well. Like I told you, the infrastructure here and the roads are a bit clear, very defined, and I think these people are really intentional about deciding where the road passes and which way we want the road. So the mosque is here, which is the largest mosque. Mami, salama. What I want you guys to see is the initial structures that were built here. Remember, this used to be a forest. So on this other side, you'll see these mud houses, which I imagine were the start, because this is like raw materials, mud, trees from the forest, and nails, and then maybe the roofing iron sheets. So where we headed actually is a very interesting fit. This is where I think the politics of Makina and the local authority of Makina. John, you can show them. There's a screen there that used to show. You can see there's a screen that used to show public information and news. So people would gather there in the evening, they would watch news. I don't know if it's still working, but it'd be interesting actually to show the films and the story and the history. What I wanna, and like I said, what I wanna focus on is to show the history of Kibera. So if they allow me, then we can screen it in one of these days. We can screen it in Kibera, maybe in different villages of Kibera, and that would be really amazing, you know, so that we get the rich history of the neighborhood. So that's actually a really important concept, because we're talking what is it that is Barizen? What is it that is putting Africa behind? And you can share with me in the comment section. And I think one of the key things is information, communication. I mean, the way it's relayed, the way it's received can be very differently. So I think that is one of the things that is still pulling Africa back and has Africa behind. So we need to have flow of information, you know, history and stuff like that, which I feel like a lot of us have gotten lost in the modern world, that we forget to really dig for this information. And so I appreciate when I see information being passed through either print media, visuals, photography, and everything. I've said much, but we'll continue the other side to the edge of Kibera so that you guys can see where Kibera ends and begins. But before we go there, I'll take you guys to Raila village, which is by here. We had promised you guys to share the story of Raila, which is a small village, together with the village of Makina, which is one major village. And so that's where I'm going to take you guys. Continue coming with me. I hope you're enjoying this tour. If you're not... So like I said, we are now in Raila village. Raila village is a very small village, so there's really not much to show for it. But one thing about it is we have, so right on my left, we have Raila Educational Center. So as you go up the hill, what's refreshing about Raila Educational Center? So Raila is the second Prime Minister of Kenya. Was it the first actually Prime Minister of Kenya, who is now the opposition, now vying to be the chairman of the African Union. We wish him all the best. He was the second MP in Kibera, and he was the first MP to get leaky Liki, who was the first MP of Kibera, to get him out of power. And there are a few things that we might get into if we get to the politics of Kibera. But Liki actually saluted him for being able to do that. He was, his father was the was it the vice president? Vice president of Kenya after the colonial era. And so this school was named after him. The educational center that is behind us was named after him. So that's Raila Educational Center. And about Raila, it's just a piece of Makina that we have really shared a huge piece and story about. What I like about Raila is it also has that slow vibration. So the other time, in the previous video, we had done the story of Kisumu Ndogo. Kisumu Ndogo is just across the railway. So the railway separates Raila and Kisumu Ndogo. And then Makina, which Raila is part of Makina, is just separated by the road. So there's a road up here. So as you can see, oh, now you can't see the view, but usually there's a very beautiful view of the slum from up here. Let's continue so I can show you guys. Yeah, you can see the old colonial structure still around here, and even on the other side. Yes, and so I'm really excited and happy that we're doing the final village as I had promised before. So the other thing that I'm promising and I'll follow through with is the history, the story behind Kibera being Kibera. And I want to get it from, so today we managed to meet some of the old Nubian leaders who have the history, and I feel like it's about a time that we package it. So I'm really going to package it well. I got their number, I'll talk to them and I'll share the story with you guys. Let's go to the end of Kibera, Makina, as I show you guys the end of Kibera and where our second president used to live. The main stage, we're actually at the roundabout. So the roundabout actually takes you to the main stage where we started, and it also takes you to the mosque or down to Mashimoni, Laini Saba, the villages that we had been doing. But the beautiful thing about this place is during post-election violence, it doesn't really get affected. So we have Bei Nafu. Bei Nafu means affordable price. Show them what they're selling. So they're selling house of goods. It's house of goods for the people in Kibera, and at a very affordable price. Also, the other thing that I noticed about this village, there's still preservation of the old Nubian culture and houses, and it is very evident in everything that they do. If you look at, for instance, this is a shop, see, and it's selling very luxurious couches, but then still a preservation of the richness and the culture of the Nubian around here, of the Nubians around here. You really see and experience the richness of the Nubians. So honestly speaking, this is where I feel, you can tell even from the lady who's coming. Asante sana mama. Sawa sawa. Mami, tunataka mtu amekaa Makina zaidi akisema mwenye kuna historia ya macho. Now, so we're actually starting to get deep into the Makina village, and yeah, the woman we were hanging out with is a bit of old age, and we would have loved to get the story, but she has pressure, so she really can't talk much. And so, you know, like, I would be honored to preserve such stories through the stories that we are telling. About anything, we are actually walking towards the edge of Makina, which is the end of Makina. So this is our member of parliament's office, and this is the district committee. They call it DC. I'm assuming it's the district commissioner office. So a lot of things are happening here. You can apply for your ID here. Your legal documents, a lot of them you can apply for here. But also, this is the end of Kibera. It's actually we are at the end of Kibera. So on the other side, you can see the building in red and in maroon and white. Is it maroon or red? I don't know. Men are colorblind. But that building actually is around the neighborhood of the second president of Kenya. This is the district commissioner office. This is the beginning of Kibera, and you can see from the wall, welcome to Kibera. So this is always, as you come into Kibera, this is what welcomes you into Kibera. This used to be a very interesting football pitch, but now what I'm seeing here, it's just an open pitch. The businesses around it, you can see stalls around it. So the green vegetation, the trees that you see down there is the home of the second president of Kenya. The late Daniel Arap Toroitich Arap Moi was the second president of Kenya, and he had his home here, so he used to even walk into Kibera sometimes. When I was a very little kid, I think, there was something called Maziwa ya Nyao. He was also giving free milk to students. I got a bit of that milk, but I think my older siblings got the huge chunk of it. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of Kibera, and this is the end of the journey. I hope you really enjoyed the 14 villages of Kibera. I was hoping to see, because what I want to dig into more, and let me know if you are interested, but what I really want to dig into more is the history of the Nubians, from Nubian old men. This would be a dime, I think, for everybody, so they can understand the history and the story of Kibera. Because Kibera itself is a Nubian word, meaning forest. And that means the Nubians named it, you know, and so it is very important for the generation of today and the next generation to really understand the history and the story behind Kibera being. I hope you really enjoyed, and I'm very happy to be giving you a story of my home Kibera, and I'm really excited and looking forward to the next. I hope you guys are open and still following. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm really grateful for everybody who's continued supporting. If you're new here, please remember to go down and watch the story of the 14 villages of Kibera, and subscribe, share, like, comment. Until I see you again, if you have any requests or questions, down here on the comment section. I appreciate you guys. Adios! Victors with Victor.